You know, the world could always use more heroes.
What is going on, everybody? That's right, it's time for Overcast. This is the 13th episode of Overcast. Hopefully it's a lucky one for us. This is Frostee, and I'm joined here by my friend Chris, Matrix, Overwatch. What is going on, man?
What up, what up? It's been 3 weeks. 1, 2, 3? Yeah, it's been yeah. We took last week off due to
a few
some
reasons.
events. Yeah, there were a couple of reasons, one on both ends, to say the least.
Yeah,
and, but you know what? It feels really good to be back. It's been great.
It has. It's been a great 3 weeks, but it's really good to be back right here in front of the camera, in front of you guys, and hopefully you all had a great 3 weeks. So just to let you know, remember to connect with us on Twitter at Overcast Show and our blog page, which is theovercastshow.blogspot.com, where you'll find our show notes, links to anything else that we find pertinent, and of course to our YouTube rebroadcast. And of course, this is all under frozenfoxradio.com. And you can also find the audio version of this podcast on iTunes. So go and give us some thumbs up or good reviews there. However that works, we still haven't figured that out. But
yeah,
please do, and thank you if you have already.
Still hate iTunes. I will never, ever go on there if I can avoid it. Oh, God. So, what have you been up to the last 3 weeks?
Well, not a lot until last weekend, which was Dragon Con, and it was my first Dragon Con. Holy cow. I mean, I've been to what I thought were big cons before. I've been to BlizzCon, and Dragon Con is, I don't know, 10 times as many people. I mean,
really?
I don't know. I mean, they said there were 65,000 people at the parade alone.
What?
So, literally, like, you have a convention like Dragon Con that's across like 5 hotels, and there's just people everywhere. And I don't have the book with me, but the book of like all the panels and schedules, each day is just page after page. Like some cons you go to, it's like one day per page. It's like 5 pages, and that's like half of one day.
Matt, dude, like with that many people and that much stuff going on, dude, I'd get like anxiety. I'd be like, do I go here? Do I go here? Do I go here? Do I meet this person? Do I go for that? Ah!
Oh man,
I couldn't do it.
You can't see. I don't think if you wanted to, you couldn't even see 5% of that con. I don't think you could. We stayed in the video game track mostly, so we got to go to the Warcraft voice actor panel and things like that. We went. My wife was in she won best technical skill in the video game cosplay panel, so rocking the Arakoa, so that was awesome.
Nice.
But overall,
nice.
it was really great. I mean, there's literally something for everybody. There was actually panels that I was going to go to if I didn't get stuck behind the wall of people at the parade. There was actually a panels on copyright law and things like that. I mean,
wow.
I know, right? There was literally something for everyone. So if you ever get a chance, go.
DMCA.
Yep. So that's really what I've been up to, and that's really why we didn't have the show. One of the reasons last week. But what about you?
Yes.
What have you been up to?
Well, last weekend was my birthday.
Happy birthday.
No.
Do you want me to give you like a tech?
I turned old, just so you guys know. All right, I'm not gonna say the actual number because screw that. I'm old. We'll just put it that way. But
at least you still have your hair. I mean,
yeah, right.
You're not that old yet.
I mean, like I had a really good birthday weekend, I guess you could say. Got to hang out with a lot of friends, some who I hadn't seen in a while. Got to have a nice dinner. Get a little bit tipsy, but overall it was a good time. I enjoyed myself, and then just been kind of kicking back, getting on the grind at work, and playing a lot of heroes. We
got to fill that void because we can't play Overwatch. So
I know, and it's just like, but we'll get to that in another segment of the show.
Yes.
But it's been really good. It was kind of nice to take that week off, just kind of get a breather.
There you go.
Come back a little more refreshed, and be able to, well, if we had any news to really report on it. But It is what it is, and
I guess that should just kind of segue into the news, right?
yeah,
Which
I mean, the good news is that there is no news. I mean,
I,
no news is good news.
is no news is good? Yeah, does that apply? Does that
I
apply
mean,
here?
we've been getting a lot more speculation on the beta release date, and it's really interesting to see what people are saying, across the various forums, the Reddits,
Oh,
Twitter,
we have had so
Facebook.
many rumors, right? So many rumors lately.
Oh my gosh, September 23rd, that's like the 10th day of fall. No, it's the
It-
first.
and then there's counting like, okay, if we start that day and go 10 days into fall, then that's when the beta's coming out. And then there was
Yeah.
the TwitchCon rumor that it not only would the beta be announced at TwitchCon, but there was this rumor somehow that there was going to be a new map and a new hero in a 15-minute talk about Overwatch.
I don't know. People are just
Hit the brakes, people. Hit the brakes.
just stop. Get out of your Prius and breathe some oxygen, okay? But speaking of TwitchCon, the news that Overwatch actually got pulled did
Yes.
come out, which it didn't really irk me because I mean they're not going to really announce anything at TwitchCon. I mean, come
Yeah.
on, it's a streaming convention. It's not necessarily a video gaming convention, but of course Twitch is the premier platform for video game streaming.
We're using it
But
right now.
Yeah, I mean, come on, we're on Twitch right now for heaven's sake. But I'm actually kind of glad because that means that they're gonna have more stuff for us at BlizzCon. So,
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And you got to look at it like Blizzard has been very formulaic in how they've rolled out Overwatch news. They have the blog page. I guess that's what they still call it. It's just the blog where they have the fake news reporter, Miss Washington.
Mhm.
And if you don't hear any news stories coming across there, or like little like rumors of explosions or things getting stolen or whatever, I don't think that anything is going to happen. Like I don't see it coming out of the blue. Nothing has so far, other than Overwatch, of course.
Yeah, and I honestly don't foresee anything major coming before November, and that simply being because, well, it's BlizzCon 2015,
Yes.
and guess when Overwatch beta is supposed to start? Fall 10.
Yep. And
So
the final thing that I'd have to say about it, I guess, is if we don't see one of those little mini blog post things, I don't know, in the next 3 weeks,
mhm.
I seriously doubt we're going to get anything before BlizzCon. Like that which to me is like the cutoff time, because if they don't start teasing stuff before then, that means that they'll probably start teasing something in October, which means that it'll come out at BlizzCon. Because
Yeah, and-
there's no other platform for them to really announce anything until then. So
And with them being like all formulaic and stuff, it's more like Blizzard, give me now.
I know.
Blizzard Blizzard just like saying, here, you want it? You can't have it. No. You want? Nah. You know what? We're just gonna wait. We're good. We got plenty of hype. We're just gonna sit back, watch y'all speculate and bicker amongst each other, and then one day we might drop a date.
I know. Yeah, if anything, what I would like, if we didn't get an announcement, is just for them to release some more gameplay at least. Just give us something to watch, maybe. That's all.
Doubt it.
That's all I could really ask. But yeah, like I don't see it happening. And the thing
Unless
is,
they reveal a new hero, probably not going to be any more gameplay.
yeah,
I mean, when they released like all those images from for the crap, why can't I remember the name? Svolskaya Industries or something like that.
oh yes, it's, Volskaya.
Svolskaya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, mine just today. Long game of tennis, but anyways, and with all those, that actually looked really cool. I went through all the pictures and I was like, oh, this looks so cool. I can't wait to get it. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Thanks, Blizzard.
yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, the only interesting thing that we have that's kind of like not officially confirmed, but has fallen into the same, I guess, thread of past betas, for example, is that a lot of people have been getting the decryption key window popping up randomly on, which generally means that the only thing that usually means is that employees are testing it from home. That's
Yeah.
and that's usually just so that they can get some kind of more game time in, is what I've heard.
Yeah, and I mean, even the people who have like actually decrypted it comes up with a message saying, "Not yet."
Yep. Too bad. TBSS. Too bad, so
Yeah, right.
sad.
Too bad, this is so sad.
So
But it is what it is.
yeah, we have to sit and wait and stew and And then when it comes out, everything will be forgiven. It's kind of like in Warcraft when Flying came out. There was so much hate, and then it seems like once Flying came out in Warlords, everything
Or
was
it
forgiven.
Yeah, or it was kind of like Diablo 3
Oh yeah.
a decade later.
Yep.
And still,
The new patch is fantastic. Just to throw that in there.
I don't know. I haven't played since the beginning of the last season. So,
That's pretty much what happened with me, but I like it. They're throwing a little bit of new life. I think that's going to be the big thing at BlizzCon, honestly, other than Overwatch getting repped, because tomorrow is the StarCraft release date and cinematic reveal. Weird that they're having it just like tomorrow. I guess WCS is going on, so
yeah, with the World
That
Championship Series going on,
makes
it's
sense.
a good time to do it.
So I mean that really leaves Diablo, which was supposed to be the rumored thing that was going to happen at Gamescom, but.
Warcraft 4? Please, Blizzard. I've been dying for a new Warcraft. An actual new Warcraft, not World of Warcraft, but Warcraft.
You'll get
God,
it.
I missed playing that game so much.
You'll get it in 10 years, or you'll get a Warcraft 3 remaster. How about that?
Dude, I wouldn't mind that, actually.
I would play.
love a remastered Warcraft 3.
I think that'd be pretty fun, actually, too.
That would be ridiculously awesome. Like, I mean, Warcraft 3 is still played competitively.
Isn't that crazy? Like
Still
yeah.
played competitively, guys. Like, when you go to, why can't I remember it? Why can't I remember the tournament?
I don't know what the name of the one you're thinking of is. I remember going to BlizzCon.
It's an international competition, but it's like the World Sports or something like that. I don't know, dude. Like,
long morning, right?
yeah, very very long morning. I do apologize, but you go out like a lot of these international events, like ESWC,
Mhm.
still has Warcraft 3, the Esports World Cup.
There you go.
And there's another one that for some reason is escaping me right now, but they have a big showing for Warcraft 3 almost every year.
Yeah, I remember going to BlizzCon and like a while ago, a long time ago, and they still played it at BlizzCon too when they had tournaments there, and I watched that. It was fun to watch that. So I don't know. Maybe one day, we can only hope, right? We'll see.
Yeah. But one thing that did happen within these 3 weeks was Boss Key Productions coming out and announcing a new title.
That's right. And you're very into this, right?
Oh, man, when I saw this come out, I was like, this can get me by till Overwatch. But for those of you who are blissfully unaware, Boss Key Productions, with the collaboration of Cliff Bleszinski, who,
Yes.
if you don't know, is the original creator behind the Gears of War series.
Oh yes.
Have come together and they're putting out a new game. It's called Lawbreakers. They debuted it over at PAX Prime, and
it looks awesome.
it looks amazing. I mean, it focuses a lot more on vertical types of gameplay
Yeah.
than, say, you would see in Overwatch. I mean, in Overwatch, yeah, I mean, you've got high points, you've got low points, you've got, you do have elevation, but this game seems to be a lot more focused on the vertical type of gameplay.
Jetpacks, grappling hook, swinging, shooting
Grapple
over your
swinging,
shoulder.
rocket jumping,
Like-
Quake-style rocket jumping, people.
There you go.
Not Team
Yep.
Fortress. So, this is the real shit.
And then
Apologies
also
for my language, but this is the real shit.
we have to take the clean off this time. Bleep.
Yes.
we have
But,
we have the and then also like with the crazy thing shooting backwards over your shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Dude,
what?
I saw that and I was like, what? You could do that? Oh, it looks so... It looks like it's actually going to be a really good title, and it may be one that... I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but I think this could be a title that could directly compete with Overwatch.
I totally agree. That was the first thing I thought when I saw like the actual in-game kind of trailer, and I was like, this is head-to-head right now, and let's see, because this is like they're like kind of the more realistic end is the only difference, I think. Like the graphics, they're kind of going for a little bit more realistic, whereas Overwatch is a little more cartoonish, I guess you could say.
Right.
So that's the difference, but you still have some classes like that seem kind of similar with different ways. But we'll just
Right.
have to see when they flesh out Lawbreakers more too. Like
Oh
If
man,
there's
did you
even
see did you see all the gameplay videos of like actual live matches that were going on during PAX Prime? Like all those little 9-second clips that they put out on Twitter?
I saw a few of those, and they
Oh,
look it looks like a lot of fun.
and I saw the one where I forget what class it was, but they grappled somebody, grappled to them, and then freaking just annihilated them. I was just like, oh, skill cap too high.
MLG.
MLG 420 no scope, no. But there's nothing more satisfying than when you actually pull something off like that.
Oh yeah.
And the reason why I think this is going to be a game that really competes or can compete with Overwatch is, well, Cliff Bleszinski, guys. I mean, come on, the man is a freaking genius.
Look at that
when it
reputation,
comes-
that resume, man.
he's behind one of the most popular video game franchises of all time.
Yep.
Not of the last decade, not of, the 90s, no, all time.
And I have to
Gears
admit,
of War is one of the top 10 franchises in video games.
hmm
And he created that from
And that-
nothing.
yeah, and that series I've put a lot of time into, a lot of hours into that game.
I can't tell you how many hundreds of hours I put into Gears of War. I mean, it may be in the thousands. That was one of the first games that I played that actually really got me into competitive shooters. Gears
Yeah.
of War 2,
Nice.
when they had online multiplayer finally.
hmm
It was just like, oh my god, this is so much fun. Like, and I would just keep going and keep playing, and
Oh
it was
yeah.
great. And that's what led me into like Counter-Strike, 1.6, then Source,
There you go.
things of that nature. But
So-
man, like,
So what do you think about them pushing Overwatch now? Like, do you think this is going to push Overwatch in any direction? Do you think it's going to, light a fire under their feet of maybe getting this thing rolled?
no, and I'll tell you why. Boss Key Productions size versus the oh my god mega juggernaut that is Blizzard Entertainment pales in
That
there's
is
no
true.
comparison. I mean, when it comes to community, of course, communities are going to drive games, especially multiplayer online games such as Lawbreakers, Overwatch. I mean, we saw it completely perpetuate the esports market for things like League of Legends, Counter-Strike, now Heroes of the Storm.
Yep.
Even Team Fortress still has a competitive scene. It's minuscule at best, but
It's
in
still there, yeah.
comparison, it's minuscule at best, but it's still there. I mean, communities are going to drive games, and when a community drives a game forward as far as, popularity online and in the competitive scene, a lot of it does come down to, okay, how is the developer going to back the community with this?
hmm
Blizzard, we already have a track record. We have StarCraft,
And
we
you-
have World of Warcraft, we have Heroes of the Storm.
And you already have ravenous fans.
Exactly. People who have been playing Blizzard games since they were still in diapers.
Yeah, pretty much at this point.
I know because I'm one of them. So, yeah, I dated myself. Sorry. But it's going to be really interesting to see how Boss Key backs up the competitive scene for this game. And that's probably going to be the biggest tell as to how Lawbreakers goes ahead and competes directly with Overwatch.
Mhm.
I mean, there's going to be a competitive scene in both games. That's completely inevitable.
Yes.
It's going to happen. People are going to like Lawbreakers. People are going to like Overwatch. People are going to do this. But at the end of the day, both communities are going to exist, and I'm interested to see how both come out.
And I'll probably cross lines. I mean, I'm gonna play both. I'm sure. If it
Oh,
looks as good, I mean, you have to give it a try, right?
I mean, I'm a Blizzard fanboy, but man, I'm going to play a lot of the crap out of Lawbreakers. I mean, come on, guys.
It's just like this. Just take my money. But speaking
Yeah.
of money with Lawbreakers, pay model, free to play from what I've heard. So does that say anything about Overwatch 2? Like, are we gonna?
It doesn't say jack about Overwatch.
Well, yeah.
Blizzard already knows what they're going to do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, it's just Blizzard gives no Fs about anything anybody else does. They're going to do what they do. They're going to put out a great game, and they're going, after everything is out, then they're going to go ahead and react if they have to.
If they have to,
I mean,
yeah.
at this point, everybody's reacting to Blizzard.
That's true, yeah.
I mean, Overwatch. I mean, don't get me wrong. Lawbreakers has probably been in development for a good few years.
Hmm.
So they already knew that this was coming, somehow. But I guarantee you, Blizzard already knew this was happening too.
Oh yeah, they're moves ahead.
They know they're Blizzard. They probably have like a PsyOps base of operations out in frickin' Roswell, just to see. Okay, these guys are going to be doing this. Okay, so we got a plan for this, like years ahead. I mean, come on.
Cliff,
People in the industry know.
Cliff better get out that tinfoil hat and those lead-lined walls, right?
Oh no, I think Cliff is taking Blizzard head on with Lawbreakers, and I'm actually really interested to see how it does.
Either way, I think it's all good for the genre. So it's all good.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
at the end of the day, competition drives good content. It
Exactly.
drives great games. If Overwatch and Lawbreakers both end up being great games, I'm gonna be the happiest person on earth. I mean, come on. Like, at the end of the day, all we want is a good game. Not a good game, but a great game.
Exactly.
Blizzard, amazing track record with great games. Cliff Bleszinski, excellent track record with
Yep.
great games. Guess what? We're getting 2 great games.
Yes. There you
Might
go.
not be your taste, but get over it, because I don't care, because you're watching an Overwatch podcast.
Yeah, it's like you'd assume. But anyway, so there's our take on that.
Yes.
And we have a big announcement that happened in the middle of those 3 weeks. Huge announcement for all of you out there as well, just to let you know that we are going to be doing something really awesome at BlizzCon and participating in Con Before the Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah! So the World of
Got 'em.
Podcasts, we have been invited to become part of World of Podcasts this year, so we will be doing a segment on their show, how they're going to be running it. I think they're calling it the Forum this year. So we'll get more details out to you as we get more details, but if you're going to be at BlizzCon Thursday night, come to Con Before the Storm, come to World of Podcasts, enjoy a fun time with tons of people out there. Come hang out with us. We're going to be there. Come watch our segment and all the other podcasts that are going to be there. Support all of them. And it'll be a fantastic night. I mean, World of Podcasts is huge, and it is a blast. And it's going to get even better than this year. It's going to be even better than the last year. So
Oh man, they raised so much money for Con Before the Storm this year. It's not even funny.
it's supposed to be really
So-
awesome. So as more details come out, like I said, we'll throw it out. We'll get a specific time that we're going to actually be on if you want to be there. And once that's kind of officially locked in, we'll let you know. So it's coming close. We're excited to be able to see all you in person. And
We are less than 2 months out.
yeah, we are. But we are the Overwatch representatives at World of Podcasts. So we are very, very honored for that. It was just like when I got the email for that, I was like, wow, this is awesome. Thank you. So yes.
I'm happy. I'm excited.
All right, on to Ask Overcast. So we have a question in chat, as well as, do we have any on Twitter? I know we have one on Twitter, as of
Yes,
the
we
beginning
do
of the
have
show.
one this week. So I'll go ahead and just clear the Twitter out of the way.
All right.
So basically, crap, I forgot to do this, please. Ninja Guy coming or not? Guys, we don't work at Blizzard, so we don't know.
Most likely.
Here's a hint. Maybe.
I know, right?
Soon.
Trademark. No, he's in the poster, so we can only assume that he's coming.
Yeah,
when
we can assume that he is a hero. We just can't confirm his name. We can't confirm his skill set. We can't confirm his lore. We can basically say that there is a picture of him.
the one thing about that I did read in the last couple weeks is somebody has been debunking the Valkyrie. Remember we talked about him being called Valkyrie?
Yep.
Apparently that's been debunked at this point. So
Yeah, but we're gonna debunk it, and then Blizzard's gonna be like, "Hey guys, they just debunked this. Let's like throw them for a loop."
Blizzard would do that though, and that would be
They
hilarious.
would.
It'd be funny.
They definitely would.
I
And
don't.
I would laugh.
Yep. Same here. It'd be hilarious. And then we have a question from the chat, which is, are you ready? Have they said if Overwatch is going to be strictly PC or will it be a console release? Kind of like Diablo.
They have not said jack. So basically, from what we can tell, right now it's PC exclusive. They haven't released any details on whether or not it's going to be cross-platform, whether it's going to come out on consoles. I, for one, I would personally like to see it stay on PC. I mean, don't get me wrong, shooters do work well on consoles as well.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, PC Master Race.
Hashtag PC
Sorry.
Master Race.
I mean, for me, in my experience in first-person shooters, it feels a lot more natural to use a mouse and keyboard
Mm-hmm.
than it is to use the dual analog sticks. Simply because, well, that's what I've been using since day one. I mean, I love my consoles. Don't get me wrong, all you console people out there, you know, Rocket League is freaking amazing on a controller. I play Rocket League all the time on my controller. Gears of War, I play on my controller because it's a cool, you know, third-person experience. But in first-person, mouse and keyboard, it pales in comparison.
Yes. And there's one comment about this, actually, that I have found. Blizzard was asked about it, I think, at Gamescom, and they only gave 2 words that they said, because they were asked, what do you think about it coming out on console? They said, quote, sounds awesome. So, whatever.
There's your answer.
That's a fall 10th answer, you know, like, who knows?
Sounds awesome means if it's possible, they'll do it.
If they feel
we'll
like
see.
it.
I mean, it took them how many years to get Diablo 3 out on the consoles after the PC release?
About 3 years, right?
Exactly. I
So-
mean, because when Blizzard does something, they don't half it. You know, they're not going to just do a crappy port over to consoles.
Yep.
You know, they're going to take their time and make sure every little detail doesn't go overlooked.
Exactly.
So, if it comes to consoles, we're probably looking at least a year after release. That's being very, very generous given Blizzard's track record with releases.
Yeah. So we'll see, but it could be interesting. I wouldn't mind playing it on you know, PlayStation or something. But
Oh yeah, because you have a PC Vita, so you can play Overwatch while you're in bed.
booyah!
That's like the only reason why you want it to come out on PlayStation.
I play Rocket.
Only.
That's the funnest thing. When I was at Dragon Con, I played on my Vita. I played Rocket League on my Vita through my PS4. It's crazy that we can do that nowadays, but the only problem was that the internet at the hotel was awful for playing that, which meant that like in the middle of a match, it would be like, you've lost your connection to your PS4, and I'd reconnect in the middle of the match, and I'd be like sitting in the middle of the field somewhere because it didn't drop me out of the game because the PS4 stayed connected to the game.
Your teammates had to have hated you. For
Yeah.
that.
Actually, we won that game, so I was like, whew.
Wow. All right, so that actually brings us to our hero of the week, yeah?
That's it. So the hero of the week this week is going to be McCree. Justice ain't going to dispense itself, right? I think that's his famous line. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So McCree is, well, he's the rough, tough, gruff cowboy. His name is Jesse McCree. He's 37, so he's just barely older than I am. Occupation, bounty hunter, based out of Santa Fe, New Mexico. I'm going to turn him down even further. I'm just going to mute him all the way. And, well, he was a rough tumble guy in what was called the Dreadlock gang. So he doesn't have any dreadlocks, though. So I guess he was like ZZ Top, and the only guy that was in the band without a beard was named Beard.
It was the Deadlock gang, not the Dreadlock.
Oh, I read it wrong. Oh my gosh. So, hey, it gave me a chance to give a funny joke either way. So yes, the Deadlock gang, they were illegal weapons traffickers and things like that, and kind of wrapped up in some shady stuff then, right? But you know, he said, or he thought that he could make amends for his past sins by righting the injustices of the world, so he appreciated the flexibility afforded to him by the clandestine Blackwatch, unhindered by bureaucracy and red tape. So he joined Blackwatch, which is a faction that, you know, we don't really know much about yet. Hoping to know more about that. There's actually Wikipedia pages about some of these factions, but they are very minuscule. So I hope that we get. I'm assuming we're going to get more of this lore. Anyway, more on with McCree. At the very end, he resurfaced several years later as a gunslinger for hire, but while McCree's talents are sought after by parties great and small, he fights only for causes he believes are just.
You know, it's going to be really interesting to see how Blackwatch comes into play once Overwatch is released, as far as lore is concerned. Because, if I remember correctly, I think McCree's the only Blackwatch member who has been announced so far, yeah?
As far as I know, the only other person I could think would be, like, Roadhog, quote-unquote. He kind of seems like kind of a guy like that, but...
Yeah.
So we have, we have Overwatch, we have Talon, we have Blackwatch. These are these factions, and then unaffiliated people, of course.
Oh, of course.
So we'll see how they all interact, and we'll learn more when Blizzard lets us learn more. One day. So let's go to his abilities. The first one is called Peacekeeper. McCree fires off a round from his trusty six-shooter, which is the Peacekeeper. And he can fan the Peacekeeper's hammer to swiftly unload the entire chamber. So, just like the old cowboy days. And then he has a combat roll, so he can dive in the direction he's moving and reload his Peacekeeper in the process, which that's kind of interesting. So you get kind of like the high mobility and fast reload.
OP! OP!
At least, you know, I think of Soldier 76 when I think of this, and he's like, all I got is a crappy run. I don't even get to, like, reload.
Right.
And then he also has a flashbang, which doesn't seem like cowboyish. I thought, like, a stick of dynamite would be more like his style, right?
You're getting a little too far into the Old West there.
All right.
Just a little bit.
But he throws down a flashbang, and of course staggers the enemies and the radius around it. So I guess they just kind of get stunned, is what it kind of amounts to.
Mm.
And then his ultimate ability, which is Deadeye. So the music goes all, it's right now in the video actually. The music gets all kind of Old West style, and it goes sepia toned. And McCree takes a few precious moments to aim. When he's ready to fire, he shoots every enemy in his line of sight. The weaker the targets are, the faster he'll line up a kill shot. So, it's when I'm reading through his abilities, I keep thinking back to like 76 and him have some very similar traits. So they have like a run/combat roll. And 76 has like a grenade, if I remember right.
Yeah, but they're kind of similar, but I feel like McCree's a little more high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
But and one thing I don't like about McCree is that his ultimate ability is very easily countered by Reinhardt or Winston.
Oh yeah. I think we talked about that in his gameplay review, but
we did.
That's the problem, and plus
doesn't feel very heroic.
Every once in a while in this video, the gameplay you see where they didn't really utilize that ultimate very well.
Yeah, but you know what? It's early.
That's true.
We'll figure it out.
So there you go. That's McCree, and go and get your Wild West on.
Yes. So that is gonna basically bring us to the end of the show today, guys. Of course, we are still set for fall 2015 as far as the beta is concerned, or fall 10th, if you will. So do make sure you guys are going onto your Battle.net account profiles and making sure you are flagging yourself to opt into beta. Because, again, when the beta does come out and we're all playing and you're just sitting there like, beta please,
yep.
And you're not flagged, then you're going to have a bad time.
Yep.
You just are. Sorry. And our next episode, guys, will be on September 26th at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern.
That's right.
Just like regular, right here on twitch.tv/Overcast Show. You can always, of course, find us on Twitter at Overcast Show. You can always find us at the website overcast.blogspot.radio.com. Blogspot thing, words and stuff.
The overcastshow.blogspot.com.
Yes, that is the one. Of course, you can always find us at frozenfoxradio.com as well. And also, you can find me on Twitter at Matrix Overwatch. And then Frostee at Frosty Fox. We're on there I'm on there almost constantly. So if you have any questions, you can always shoot me an ad, or you can always use the hashtag AskOvercast.
That's right.
And we will do our best to answer the question. If we don't answer it right there, we could answer it on the show. And as always, you could also find us on our YouTube page for Frozen Fox Video.
Yep.
This episode will be going up hopefully within the next few hours, and also on iTunes. So if you do want to listen to us while you're driving around, while you're at work, and you've got nothing better to do because you have 2 hours of work to do in an 8-hour shift, you can go ahead, download us on iTunes, and make sure to give us a very good review.
Yes, and we thank you for it.
Yes, definitely.
And with that bringing us to the end of the show, thank you very much. So glad to be back in front of everybody and get the show back onto our normal schedule. So thank you, Chris. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And with that, I will say Frostee out.
Stay awesome, Gotham.
You know, the world could always use more heroes.